Hello, hello, my lovely people. I am live talking all about SOMA calm, the real art of regulation, honesty over calm, which we talked about yesterday. So just let me know who is tuning in. I'm super excited to connect with you as always. I'm just going to share this to my group, Conscious Parenting and Relationships. So if you're in there, you can see it. Now, if you are watching this live today, I ask you to share this out on your pages just so that we can spread this message to as many parents and people, because we all need the art of self-regulation as possible. So do that for me, share it on your pages, tag me when you share it on your pages so I know you've shared, and you'll be entered for a competition that's going to be announced in the 5 days to calm group that we did last week. If you haven't been in that group, don't worry, you can still get in there and hear your announcements of who is going to win the amazing prize, which will be revealed soon. So if you are here, it's likely you are here because you find yourself either overwhelmed, getting stressed in parenting, or even in your relationships, or just in life in general, and you're wanting better ways to learn how to self-regulate and to bring more calm into your parenting as well. And we honestly talked about how striving for calm yesterday is not always the full answer. We want to aim for honesty over calm, which was day one. And you might not really know what that means. So definitely go back and check out day one. And it also talks about how we can get stuck in a specific state. And because we are stuck in that state, it's that dysregulation that's coming out onto our child as well. So we're going to kick off in a minute. Just see who's here. If you're catching me on the replay, just give me a hashtag replay so I know. And I'm just going to see who is about as well and just tag. And we're actually going to be doing some calm practices tonight, which are going to be amazing. I say calm practices. I call them that because that's the easiest way for us to understand what this is about, but really it's regulation. And we're going to talk a little bit more about the difference, or you'll gauge that a little bit tonight. So yesterday, as I said, we talked about when we lose it with our kids, and when we lose it with our partners. Put your hand up if you're somebody who loses it sometimes. Or maybe you're just someone that feels quite overwhelmed in parenting, a little bit anxious, a bit pressured. Which one are you? Let me know in the comments and even on the replay. So yesterday we talked about how when we lose it with our kids, we can be stuck in a fight, flight, freeze, or fawn response. And these are all nervous system states. So if you want to know about those, check out day one. If you've just landed on this somehow, make sure you register for this masterclass as well, because then you'll get all of the emails that are associated with it, and you won't miss out on one juicy detail or offering anything that comes through. So I'm just going to put that in the link now in the comments, so that if you've just landed here, you can make sure that you've actually it's not really letting me comment that you're actually registered for this as well, because some of you may not be. Right, for some reason it's not letting me comment, and it's not letting me see comments either. So let me see if I can see them on Facebook. I can hear myself now, excuse me. Hey, sorry about that. Okay, so I'll drop that in there for you guys in a bit. Oh, here you go. Can see my comments now. There you go. So there's the link if you're not registered for these. If you're getting emails about them, then you're registered. But if you just landed on this, then make sure you register. so you get all the emails associated with what we're talking about here. So, as I say, yesterday we talked about how when we lose it with our kids, we can be stuck in fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. And these are all nervous system states. Today, I'm going to be showing you some SOMA calm practices that build up what is known as vagal tone, okay? The vagus nerve is the part in our body that all you need to know is when we exercise this nerve, it helps us to have more regulation and be able to move between those states that we talked about yesterday, rather than get stuck in any one of them. So rather than get stuck in fight or flight or freeze or a self-protective response. I just had a great one-to-one session. Hi, Felicia. Lovely to see you here. I just had an amazing one-to-one session where we talked about the brain and the mind, if we're overthinkers, being a self-protective response that won't let the body do what the body is meant to do, and how the body is actually designed to get us into a more regulated state. But a lot of us don't know how to work with the body. We're just constantly trying to like rationalize and reason things from the mind, when the mind is the prefrontal cortex, this part of the brain, and the reaction that you're having or your anxiety is coming from the limbic part of the brain here at the back. And so this limbic is a brain response and a body response, just to put it in simple terms, not getting too scientific here. And yet we're trying to use a logical reasoning. How many of you try to speak your way into calm or rationalize why you should have been calm? And it's like rationally you know it, but you're still reacting automatically in the moment, aren't you? Or you're still getting that anxiety. Why is that? Because it's an automatic response that comes in the limbic system that's connected to your nervous system. And once you learn more about the nervous system, you'll know that all reactions from the nervous system are autonomic, automatic. So no amount of, this is why talk therapy can't really get you out of your reactions, because you're trying to talk your way out of a problem that is starting in the limbic system, which is a body signal that's sent, like a danger signal that's sent to your body, and then your body reacts. It's your body that launches forward towards your kid and pumps all that blood around your body. So then why are we trying to work with the mind 100% to get the body to calm down? This is why therapy can only go so far. It's really good for recognizing and awareness. And I'm not slating therapy because everything has its place. But for me, the deeper regulation came with working with the body. Hi, Aisha, lovely to see you on. So let me know if that resonates, guys. Like, who has been in therapy? You don't have to stay here. If you want to, you can. And then you realize, actually, like, I'm not really getting anywhere that fast. I remember actually feeling quite frustrated in therapy because it's like two different languages. You're trying to talk your way out of a reaction that is automatic and body-based, okay? And that is why somatic practices are the best things to get you out of that impatience with your kids, that frustration, that sense of like, oh, they're so ungrateful, and you just feel like the demands piling on and the overwhelm. And we need to work with the body first, okay? It's all about the body. So had to do a silly dance and song. So we're going to be talking about, and I'm going to be showing you guys, I'm super excited for this bit, some SOMA calm, as I like to call them, practices that build up that vagal tone. And remember, the vagus nerve, having the vagus nerve toned means that we can get to regulation quicker, okay, or we can access it more easily. Not necessarily quicker. I want to be gentle with this process, but I want you to understand that when you build your vagal tone, and we're going to do some practices that either build vagal tone, or I think we're also going to do some release exercises today, okay? And these are what builds the muscle to become more regulated. Like, if you think of it as a muscle, yeah, think of vagal tone like muscle tone. So, for example, we go to the gym to build physical strength and resilience, don't we? That's why we go to the gym, to get physically resilient and build physical strength. Vagal tone is like going to the gym, but to build your emotional strength and your emotional resilience. Meaning we can then handle our kids' big emotions, our children's big emotions, or the big emotions of our partners even, better, Okay, we can become more and more patient because we've built up an emotional strength and resilience. So when you think of vagal tone like muscle tone, you're building up the tone through body-based somatic practices, certain practices that use the eyes, use the breath, use the sensations of the body, use a certain way of moving. So we're going to be doing a couple later, like I said, that just give you a bit of a flavor. But first, I have a very exciting announcement in a minute as well. So obviously, when we have this emotional resilience, guys, we're then going to be able to respond, become more patient, more confident with our kids as well as we commit to that practice, because we'll feel more able to cope when they don't listen. We'll feel like we can actually adopt, we're regulated enough to adopt a skills-based approach to helping them to build those skills rather than just shouting at them for not listening or feeling frustrated or getting overwhelmed yourself, right? Because one, we are being honest about what we feel, which we talked about yesterday, versus forcing ourselves to be calm or faking it. We're simply accepting what we genuinely, the behavior in front of us, what that's genuinely making us feel, because that's where our reaction's coming from. It makes us feel something, then we react. So we're genuinely accepting what that feeling is, and we're meeting ourselves there exactly where we are at. So we respect our nervous system state. We say, we are here. We don't say, I want to push this away and get really calm. That just creates more pressure. So having that honesty with that acceptance that we talked about yesterday, if you haven't seen it, you can go back to day one. Along with somatic practices means we are not then adding an extra layer of anxiety, dysregulation, right? Reactivity on top. Because if we're not really accepting that we're in that state and we're just like berating ourselves for it, we're going to, and beating ourselves up when we're not super duper calm, we're not going to be doing ourselves any favors. And this is one thing that I really realized in my own parenting, is that is half of the reason why we stay dysregulated, a lot of us. So how many of you feel guilty as a parent? Then if that's you, then that's what you're probably doing internally. So what I want you to understand here is you are working towards regulation versus jumping to super duper calm, which is unrealistic, guys. Okay, you are human, you are a parent. Instead, what we want to do is want to create flexibility between the states that I talked about yesterday, the nervous system states, so that we don't get stuck in any one of them. And it's certain somatic practices and adopting a regular regulation approach that's going to have you experiencing way more calm moments as a result of that flexibility that you have developed in your nervous system. Okay, and that honesty that we talked about on day one. So just imagine, guys, just imagine now feeling like a sturdy leader when everyone else is out of control, yelling, etc. But you can be the peaceful presence in the room. You can be regulating with the practices, so you manage more and more. So just imagine that, right? That your kids are losing it, but you are the sturdy leader and you are the peaceful presence in that room. Now that is possible, guys. Okay, give me some love hearts if you're feeling that and you want that, because that is literally possible for every one of you. So, and I want you to know that, right? So imagine that no situation felt out of control because you get to control yourself. That just gives me goosebumps, because our kids deserve that, right? You deserve that. You don't want to just like be stuck in overwhelm or reactivity. So that is possible. So I'm going to show you, like I say, a sample of somatic practices in a bit. So be sure to hang on there to the end. But before I do, I want to share something very exciting with you. Now, some of you may have seen a version of this if you've been in my other groups. And it is amazing. I have worked so hard to bring this baby into the world. So I'm going to share it with you now. Just give me one moment while I locate what I'm looking for. And as you are waiting, I would love to hear any questions that you might have today as well, because I will be making some time to answer any questions that come up, even on the replay. I know it's 4th of July, so it's going to be, didn't really think that through. It's going to be, people are going to be really busy, and lots of people are going to be catching on the replay rather than anywhere else. So here we go. Okay, guys, so this is my baby. This is a massive opportunity for you to learn those somatic practices in detail. So just want you to close your eyes for a minute. You don't have to really close your eyes, but just imagine, right? If you didn't have to hold it all in, if you're one of those people that has overwhelmed build, or you suddenly explode, imagine if you didn't have to hold it all in until it reached that boiling point, that explosion point with your kids, okay? Because honestly, how many of you became a parent to feel overwhelmed, frustrated, unappreciated? Let me think. I'm going to say none. None of you probably became a parent for that reason, okay? And yet we're faced with very challenging situations as a parent. I'm facing a really challenging situation right now, which really moved today, by the way. We had some great regulation, co-regulation going on in our house. Co-regulation is when you are regulated and your child plugs into that as well. And we had some amazing co-regulating moments today. Like my 7-year-old son decided to hoover today, started to get the hoover. And he was like, Mummy, thank you so much for giving birth to me. Now I'm going off the point here a bit, but my point is there's that joy and that love and that connection between us because we're co-regulating, because they plug into wherever your stress levels are at. And my son particularly picks up on everything, being a very sensitive child. So if you've got sensitive kids, you know what I'm talking about, okay? So imagine parenting from that authentic calm, right? Not this forced sense of calm, acting calm, but authentic calm, okay? So you can actually feel confident and proud of your parenting. I was very proud today, very proud, not just because my son hoovered the house. He's only 7, he decided to do that on his own. But nothing to do with that, although that's one of the little benefits that comes with, you get more cooperative children when you work on your own regulation, okay? When we were stressed last week because we didn't know where we were going to live, long story, he wasn't so regulated. Well, I'm not surprised. He's probably picking up on our energy that in our bodies. And once I became aware of that and I regulated it, I see a difference in him as well. Now, he has complex additional needs, so he has an inner regulated state that is has a baseline of dysregulation, basically, because he's got sensory processing like, I hate the word disorder, but challenges, I'm going to say. So because I know for a fact that one fact here, that if I can do it, okay, and I have so much emotional dysregulation over the years, and I'm neurodivergent, so we all have a baseline of dysregulation as well. So I know for a fact if I can do it with these methods, that you can too. And you may not have realized that about yourself here, but this is something for you to move forward with learning those regulation practices. So this isn't for everyone, guys, okay? This might be for you if you find, and I just realized something, hold on one sec. Just bear with me. And we're going to be doing the somatic practices at the end, so definitely stay there for that. No, okay, it's all right, we're cool. So this is for you if you go to sleep feeling guilty and you're wondering if your child feels rejected or misunderstood. Has anyone ever felt like that? Like, oh my God, you just lost your cool. And after, you're like, oh my God, I was so frustrated with them. How is this going to affect them? And you just think it over in your head, right? Give me some love hearts if that resonates, or just drop a Y for yes below. If you end up in those stupid conversations in your head about how this is going to affect your child. Well, guess what? Imagine if you could be totally confident that you're not causing that damage to your child because you have regulation tools at the base. Even for when things get hard, you know how to create more flexibility so you can move back into a calmer ventral, as we call it in the nervous system, state, a ventral state, calmer state. And remember, we're not striving for that, but we're creating flexibility between the states so we can move out of stuck states and stuck dysregulation in the body easier. So imagine that there's nothing like just having that assurity that you're not causing as much damage to your child as you may think you are, because you are showing them how to regulate and they're learning that skill from you. So you feel, and they feel into your calm energy. They plug into it. That's what happens. People always asking me, how do I get my kids to be calm? They need to plug into your calm. Also, lots of other things as well. It's not just that, but that is a huge aspect of it, right? So you feel overwhelmed perhaps with the endless demands of your parenting. There's a lot of demands in parenting. So imagine if you just had like tools that you could tap into every day. Like, I'm going to use this tool. I'm going to use that tool today to cope with that overwhelm. Like, you knew how to feel it in your body, and you knew how to go, oh my God, I'm overwhelmed. Okay. I'm gonna do this practice. You just have a tool at your fingertips. Your child sees you doing that tool. They too think, okay. Or they see that you're managing. You don't have to be a superhuman for your kid. You just have to be human and have tools, for life. And they then learn those tools from you as well. So a lot of us try to teach the tool to the kid, but we haven't like habitualized a inner calm or inner regulation ourselves. So the tool doesn't land with the kid because you haven't got that, and you're forcing it onto the child. They can feel that energy. Then my child would not take that on. I don't know about yours, but some kids are more open to suggestion than others. But it would be better not to fake it, right? And to actually know what it feels like to be calm yourself and have those tools at your fingertips, and actually know what it feels like to feel more regulated yourself. So imagine actually just having those tools that you can tap into at any time. Now, if you've hopped on here, please say hi. I'd love to know where you're watching from and connect with you tonight. And please also share this live out on your pages, because I want to spread this message to as many people as possible who need it today. So if you're tired of just feeling disregarded and not heard, now this is a big one. How many of us just feel like we're not heard in parenting? Like, oh my God, would someone just listen to me, for God's sake? Right? Well, imagine having a way that you could actually communicate your needs more honestly. Because what I've found, and I was listening to something about this today, a podcast, that a lot of the reasons why we get even daily frustrations is because of an unmet need in us. Like, something is not met in us. Okay, this is huge, by the way. So when you can recognize what is that, and you have a way of knowing how to communicate those unmet needs to the people you need to communicate them to, as well as what you need to do internally for your own needs, which not a lot of people know the internal process of dealing with needs. I didn't until I had to do it. But when you know how to respond to that, you're going to feel so much more heard and seen. So if you feel like you're not heard in your family, then a lot of this is about looking at your unmet needs, okay? And we do that in Regulate. We look at your unmet needs, and we're going to listen and learn how to meet them internally, as well as how do I communicate that externally as well. So if you're someone who suddenly snaps or even explodes when it's all been building up in your parenting, in your relationships, or you're someone who just tries to hold it all in so you don't show it, but eventually it kind of creeps through, doesn't it? Through your irritation, your moodiness, maybe even your offhand rude little comments. I've often had parents in my coaching practice tell me, oh, I keep saying spiteful little comments to my child. I just can't believe I'm doing it. But really, that is a sign of your dysregulation. It's like something, something buzzing inside you. So what would it feel like to not to get rid of those reactions, but to channel that energy? You don't want to be saying names to your kids or whatever, or getting irritated or spiteful, shaming them like, you're such a silly little boy, look what you did. And really, that energy, when we're talking like that and we're trying to get it out, it's something that's trying to leave our body. It's a trapped, dysregulated energy. Well, imagine actually dealing with that kind of, and it normally happens when it's all built up, but we haven't noticed it's built up because we're too much on what we call autopilot. So we haven't noticed it's built up because we're on autopilot mode. Well, what Regulate does, this course that I have designed for you, is it helps you to come back to the now and notice that there is something building up, and to have a method to deal with that build up effectively as you go along, so that it doesn't just explode. Like, to have effectively having proven ways that work in harmony with your biology, your nervous system. Because as I said at the beginning of this, and if you didn't see it, you're going to want to watch it back, you can't get calm by talking yourself out of calm or rationalizing yourself into calm, because it's a different part of the body. The prefrontal cortex does not control where our reactions come from. So you need to have these somatic body practices to do it. So imagine actually having these practices. You could just, and they're quick and they're fast and they're great, and they just be a part of your life, because they're a part of my life now. And imagine just having those so that you didn't have that build-up occur, right? Or that build-up was reduced. So you have a way to deal with the build-up effectively and calmly before it affects your child. To me, this is priceless for me, right? Now, fast forward, and for all the children out there, which is my dream, to help as many kids and parents as possible, after seeing, you know, in my own family, my own mother struggle with not having these regulation skills, bless her, because she didn't have access to the kind of support we do now on Facebook. And that's why I love doing these things, even these complimentary offerings. I give everything because I know there's someone out there that needs it. So, and if that is you, then you could fast forward from 6 months to now, if you took this course Regulate, and just imagine feeling energized and less frustrated, right? Re-energized. I remember just having no energy when I was so dysregulated. And if I get to that, if I get to dysregulation now and I get there, like, because I know that I suffer with ADHD, I suffer, it's not really a suffering, I don't know why I said that. That's such a like conditioned word inside me, suffer. The words we use are very important, but do you see, I noticed it straight away. I noticed that my inner conditioned self came up there, and I'm not going to take it on board. I'm like, oh, if I use that word, then I'm going to feel like it's suffering, you know? So the words we use to our nervous system are very important as well. And we cultivate all of this inside Regulate. But as I was saying, if I do feel dysregulated, I just do one of these techniques. Like I did this today, and when my energy was a bit low. And so I did it today and I felt amazing after. So I've really, this is the real path that I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you the exact path to self-regulation, so your inner state actually matches your outer state. How many of us try to act calm with our kids, but the inner state is saying something very different, so that you can feel in control without the need to impose that control, right? That is so, so important. So imagine feeling that no situation in your life feels out of control, because you get to control yourself and your response to it. So you'll feel in control in parenting. You'll feel like a leader, like like you know what you're doing, because it's actually when we get hijacked by the fight flight response that it makes us feel like we can't access the logical brain, which we physically can't at that point. That's why you need to work with your physical body, because you physically can't access your logical brain. And then we don't feel in control anymore, or logical, or able to teach our children a skills-based approach, or whatever we want to do. So imagine being able to do that without breaking the bank, and that's an absolute promise, and I'll tell you why in a minute. And this is where it gets really good. Each week with each module, you're going to expect to walk away with practical techniques, not just any old, like, oh, you know, here's like a booklet, go and work it out. No, you're going to get the practical techniques. You'll have me on a video showing you the practical methods and the tools, and mostly feeling a felt sense and ability to feel into that inner calm evolving within you. And this just lights me up week by week. I just had a session with somebody just now. I'm going to put the screen on for a minute, and I literally was lit up. This is a person that is so usually in her mind, can't get out of overthinking, overwhelmed. And we did some of these practices, and I just saw her melt into relaxation, and the survival part of her brain that was trying to keep her in this like doing mode that parents get into, this overwhelm, just relaxed, right? And this is what I would love. This is what I would absolutely love for so many more parents. Like, this is my dream, because I wish that my mom had that. And I wish that I had this earlier in life. But now that I have it, I'm going to shout about it from the rooftops. And I want to share this with all of you because I know that it's going to be the thing. So to help you the most. And as I say, you're going to be building that inner calm within you and the absolute essential skill of self-regulation, of so you can rest in that absolute surety that your child knows that they are not letting you down, because you're not forcefully misplacing your displaced reaction onto them. And if you're quite a sensitive soul or busy parent, you tend to get more easily anxious or overwhelmed. Regulate is going to be for you. It's going to reduce that overwhelm. So, you know, that's all we want, isn't it, really, is to feel more relaxed and calmer and actually enjoy the family. That's why we had a family, right? To enjoy them. Like, how many of you had a family just to shower them, just to be overwhelmed and feel like everything's getting on top of you? Like, we've kind of been painted that that vision of parenting is normal. Oh, that's normal. Every parent feels like that. It's so normal. And my mum would say that a lot of the time. It's normal as part of parenting. No, it's not. It doesn't have to be like that. My life doesn't look like that as a parent. And we have extra strains in this house as well with a child with additional needs. And don't get me wrong, it doesn't mean that we don't get stressed, but it means we have a way to cope with it. And it doesn't have to be like that. And there can be enjoyment. There can be joy. And I want you guys to experience that joy with your children. That is everything. You know, the more joy that we can create in this world, it's just the better for me. So you might want to know a little bit about me. So if you go on this page afterwards, you'll be able to see here that I am a serial self-healing expert. Like, I literally love self-healing. I'm obsessed with it. And I've been doing it for the last 20 years. I'm 40 now. I turned 40 this year. And honestly, I used to be so reactive and anxious that I couldn't even find my breath. In fact, I couldn't stay with my breath, right? How many of you, sorry, I keep stopping because I feel like you're in front of me more if I haven't got the screen on, but like I'm chatting to you in a room. But how many of you have tried like meditation or something, but when you try and be with your breath, you just feel impatient or you just want to get out of your body, right? I was just telling a client about this a second ago. Like, you just want to get out of your body, or you just feel like, no, I'm just too anxious. Like, oh, I've got too much to do. I can't sit here, right? How many of you feel like that? I used to feel like that. And then over time, I did do more mindfulness, and I did break that pattern of my body wanting to stay in this survival response of anxiety. Because really what the body's trying to do is try to say, this is scary. Let's get you ready for, you know, how scary this feels, all of this doing, all of this pressure. Let's pump blood around your body. And that's like, you know, where our sympathetic energy comes from. So what if you could release that from the body so that you could cope with those daily tasks of parenting and the demands and everything just easier, right? Because that, like I say, it is possible. It's so possible. Even if you have extra challenges like myself with emotional dysregulation, being neurodivergent, like I have got through a lot of my, I don't take medication for it, nothing like that, because I've got through it with a lot of these strategies. Like, yoga was so healing for me because I did a lot of somatic practices within the yoga. Who practices yoga here? Let me know in the comments if you practice yoga. Aisha says, I know when I've said something I shouldn't, or yeah, yes, it's something about you, not them. Yeah, when we're projecting onto our child, when we say something nasty, it's something within us that we need to deal with. And this helps us to get to it. You can read a little bit more about me there. I'm not going to go through it all, but you can do that once I give you this link in a moment. In fact, I can even, I'm pressing the wrong screen. I can even, got two laptops in front of me, drop that link for you. She says, yes, here you go. There you go. So if you want to look at this with me, you can. The link is now in the comments. Okay. So yeah, there are others that have done a little bit of this work, not this course, because this course is brand new. I haven't taught any of this anywhere. So this course is brand new, but these people have done other work on working with me and getting reactive. And some of these techniques were merged into this work, but now it's been updated, up-leveled with even more somatic practices that I have journeyed through just in the last year or so, that I've really amplified my regulation knowledge more than I ever have before, to infuse into my existing certifications as a parenting coach and everything else, this regulation model. And so these people got calm without having some of these more cutting edge techniques that I have now. And there was Tracy said she's now able to bring clarity and calmness. There's at night that says she feels more connection and calm when she's triggered with her son. And just what it's like to work with me here, that I offer a kind, love, safe and accepting environment. And that in itself, guys, helps us to regulate. When you can regulate from being with me and, you know, just from connecting to my energy, I can give you that co-regulation even through a screen. I'm able to do that, and it's become like my super skill now, and I love doing it. I love to connect with people through the screen and show them that you are capable of more regulation. You are capable of feeling less anxious. There is something different out there for you. And we do a lot of co-regulation strategies through the screen with these somatic practices, which we're going to do some at the end, and I'm super excited to share those with you tonight as well. So woo! Okay, so yeah, going back to some of my beautiful clients, I love these guys. Like, I actually end up loving my clients like they're my family. I don't know why, but I do. Okay, I just love I do know why, because we're all one, really. You know, there's this distinction, oh, family, not family. I don't actually believe in it. I believe that we are a big family, really. As corny as I'm going to sound online now, but I'm okay with that vulnerability. I couldn't be as vulnerable in the past, but you know what? I do love my clients. They're just so beautiful. They're such beautiful souls that tend to be drawn to my work. And Rafia says it is possible. So there's some of my clients watching with me now, which is beautiful. And like Shannon, for example, this is Shannon down in the corner, and like the link for this is in the comments if you want to look at it on another device while I'm talking. So Shannon says, I knew I could help myself, but I did not know how. I wanted to help my teen son calmly, but I didn't know how without using commands and directives that were not helpful to him. So, and then he says, I did not have the how, but now I have the more of the how with working with Shanae that I've ever had in my life. Now, this is the thing that peed me off the most, not Shannon, about something else, about being in therapy when I was in therapy, was they never told me how. And they just kept going and cancelling, kept going, and how does that make you feel? And what thoughts were you having? And there was no how. So this is the difference with my coaching. I give you the tools and I give you the how, and that's exactly what Shannon said here. And it was lovely to hear that back from him, to know that my intention to give you that is landing well. And this is Gori. I love Gori. I love her, love her, love her. She's been with me from the start for the last 5 years or so, or 6 years, I don't know now. But she says that my courses are painstakingly, I love that word, put together to cover any loopholes. And as a result, she feels equipped to handle any challenges that may come up. And she's now able to relate to her teen daughter with more calm and compassion after taking one of my courses, which was also a course about becoming more calm and evolved, but it had some different aspects in it to this. This is completely new. It had some nervous system information, but not the deep somatics we're going to be going into in this course, which is much more practical application of the somatics. So Selena, who's said making that commitment, and she found it hard to make the financial commitment. She'd never done anything before like that when she took one of my first courses. Since she's taken another course with me and another course with me and another. And you might think, why does she keep coming back for courses? Because there's always something new and deeper to evolve. And because she just loves growing and getting a better and better version of herself for a child, you know, which is what she shared with me. But that she feels that it's made all the difference. And she's able to put, just like, you know, when you hear these theories, like I've given you a lot of theory yesterday, I'm going to give you some practical tips as well at the end of this So please stay with me to experience those. And please share out this live on your page so I can help other parents too. Please do that now, and you'll be entered for a prize draw as well. So I'm finally able to put into practice the theory, she says, and I'm changing my ways and finding a real pathway to real peace. Wow. And that's just what we want, isn't it? Just a bit of peace. And that is possible in parenting. Now, there's a few truths about me if you are thinking about taking this course, and that is I do give it to you how it is sometimes, and I am a tad intense. That's why you see a lot of capital letters in my posts, and that's also known as just my passion for this. So as long as that's not annoying to you, I do give it to you how it is, because you don't evolve if you don't hear it how it is. If I just kept lying to you, you'd never evolve. And fun. I love fun. So we make our learning fun in this course. Fun is the part of my soul. It's a part of everything I do. If I'm not in a fun state, then I know I'm not regulated. So if fun kind of breaks on you a bit, it's because, well, I don't know what it is, but you're going to need to be okay with it, because we're going to be having lots of it. And we're going to be bringing that playful aspect back into your parenting. Like, how many of you feel like you're just too serious in parenting, right? Well, this is going to be bringing back that fun and playful aspect. And I do love hard on everyone. So, you know, if that makes you uncomfortable, I'm probably not that right mentor for you. But what do you get in this version of the course? You get my personal support every week. You get live coaching with me. You get lifetime access. And you get others who are in the same boat. And here is what we will learn. Now, if you've already signed up for the course, then please do still check this out, because I've swapped around the order of the course and I've put more great stuff in there. This is what I do. I'm flexible in my approach. I respond because I only take small numbers and small groups, which is intentional, by the way, so that I can make sure I'm giving you my everything and giving you quality support, rather than having those massive groups where you don't get any quality support. Then this is basically what we're going to learn. So we've got the regulation gym. I just named it that today. I love it, after my whole gym analogy of we exercise our physical muscles, so we need to build our emotional resilience and emotional vagal tone as well. So we're going to do that in the regulation gym. So you can read this in your own time, but we're going to learn practices to relax your body and in this masterclass, we've learned how the reactions start in your body. When your body is relaxed, you can show up that way too in your interactions with your child, your teen, your ex-partners, your current partners, your boss. So this will be hands down the best regulation videos for you to build that inner calm, along with my loving support along the way, that you will find anywhere, right? Because I want you to know something, okay? And I'm just going to stop the screen for this, okay? You are built to survive the difficult moments in your parenting, the difficult moments in your life. You're actually built to survive them. You don't need to go into a survival response like anxiety or fighting someone or reactivity to survive. There's another way, but you are built to survive. So when you access these somatic practices, you will have and feel that confidence that I'm built for this. I can handle this. Even if you do not take this course, I want you to know that from my heart to yours, you are built for this, 100%. My dad always used to say 100% when he told you something. And those of you that know, my dad's not with us anymore. But when I was little, he used to always say 100% with so much love. And that's what I want you to know, that 100% you are built for this. You know, you are built for this this calm and this regulation that is within you, and you're built to survive those difficult moments. And you will feel that, guys, in a whole new way when you make these practices a part of your family life. Okay, it's just got to be a part of how you function, especially if you're a sensitive soul, an emotional soul, whatever. It doesn't really matter what kind of soul you are, right? But those of us that feel more deeply tend to need regulation more. I'm definitely one of those. I don't know about you. But all those of us that have kind of pushed stuff away and tried to be strong and tried to be positive, but not necessarily that we are, okay? So I just got a notice that Liz shared my live. Thank you, Liz. I'm going to you're going to get so many entries to this competition, Liz. I know how you just follow all of it, so you're going to get so many entries. So guys, the second thing you're going to get, so that's going to be module 1. You will have practices like little videos that you can watch, nice, short. They're not going to take up a lot of your parenting time, but they're going to be super informative. Like 10 minutes of what I give you can be absolute gold. Even though I do hour masterclasses, I know that in 10 minutes, I can shift you in some way. So some of the practices are split up into 10 minute, 10 minute, 10 minute every day. So it's only 10 minutes a day of your time. If you think you've got no time as a busy parent, this is going to be accessible. And then you get that kind of longer support, if you prefer that as well, in the live coaching with me every week. So you get these somatic regulation practices and you do them every day, and you have a little log so you can notice the difference in your body, or you can notice what you felt and what any questions you have you can bring to the coaching. And then module 2, we have regulation gym again, because we want to really have a lot of these somatic practices, but they're not just somatic practices. Nervous system regulation goes deep. Calm is not something we reach by counting to 10. Okay, it's not that we just count to 10 or tell ourselves to be calm. These practices will go deeper than anything I've taught before, and they will work with your body's biology to really embed calm from the inside out. Okay, whilst toning. Do you like my little muscle here? Can you even see it in this little small screen on the side? Got my muscle tone, but my vagal tone, toning my vagal tone, so that, and toning the vagus nerve up, so that we can really genuinely cope. It's just going to happen with your biology, right? So we're going to receive a range of practices which will encompass aspects of EDMR. If you haven't heard of EDMR, you can look it up, okay? And it is about working with your eye movement and the brain, because like I said, the reaction starts in your brain stem, not in the prefrontal cortex. So going to therapy and talking about it isn't going to help that much. We're going to look at somatic techniques, mindfulness, reconnecting you back to the body so you can actually feel where that reaction starts, and actually habitualize a response within your body that is one of regulation. And that's why we call it a gym. We're going to make it a habit to have these things in every day, but it's not going to feel onerous. I'd hate the gym, by the way. I'd like quick things. So these practices are quick and easy, but they're still working and habitualizing that response. And it's going to then be able to release your overwhelm. There's some great practices for release, okay, which we're going to do a couple in the moment. And there's going to be plug-in anytime videos, so you can plug these in as you go, and audios to get you back to calm or back to a regulated state. Like, you might not go completely to calm straight away, okay, but you're going to at least get unstuck from the stage that you're stuck in. So if you don't know what I mean by stages, you need to watch day 1. We get stuck in certain stages of the nervous system. So it's about encouraging flexibility so we can move out of a particular state, fight, freeze. We need to move out of it. So these things will encourage that flexibility and get you to a real sense of it's okay to be triggered. It's okay to feel that. The idea is, like some people say to me, I don't ever want to be triggered. Well, then you're not a human. So that's silly, right? So the idea is to know how we cope with that and be able to move through it and to be able to get into the regulated state quicker than you normally would, right? I remember I used to stay dysregulated for weeks, days at a time, days and weeks, right? I didn't even know that my baseline was a constant anxiety. I just used to constantly overthink. That was my normal. So your normal might be like that, or your normal might just be to snap at your children regularly, but you don't know that there's another normal, okay, that you can access. So anyway, we've got those 2 modules. They're going to be packed full of beautiful exercises. And then we've got dealing with daily dysregulation. And these are going to be working with energetics, because we get trapped energy in the body, but you're going to get a daily formula and you're going to have a few to choose from. So, have you ever woken up with like just feeling anxious and pressured straight away about just your to-do list just comes into your head straight away and you're like, oh, I've got so much to do. Or you might not even realize you're getting like that, but you suddenly snap and then you're like, why am I snapping? Or you suddenly explode and you're like, why am I exploding? Well, it's because you've done no self-care before you approach your day. right? Some of us are on a self-care journey, of course. So, but this will just enhance it. If you have done self-care in the morning, then this will enhance it, because this will give you some takeaway practices to help you to, feel better in that very moment that you wake up. And you, before you start your day, you're going to start off in a more regulated state than you would if you just hopped out of bed and got on with your chores or whatever you have to do. Chores, that's such a 1950 word, isn't it? Chores. I'm going to do my chores now. So anyway, so you're going to wake up feeling better with these daily dysregulation practices and walk away with these regulation rituals under your belt, so you can deal with the build up before it gets the better of you. And so we're starting with these 3 modules over the next 3 weeks. The course starts next week on the 10th. We break for August because a lot of people have their kids off in the summer, but you get Voxer support for the whole of August, okay? And I'm going to tell you more about that in a minute. That's basically a voice app where if you get stuck with anything in your parenting, you can voice me and I will coach you through it, right? When you hear the price of this course, you're going to be like, what? Because usually Voxer support of that kind is like £500 a day, okay, in the coaching space. True story. I know. I don't charge nowhere near those prices, but that is what it's worth. Now, and hands down, I know that my support will be worth double that, if I'm honest. So the module 4, the magnificent mindset, in this module, we're going to create and walk away with that magnificent mindset, because the thoughts and unknown beliefs is what caused you to get triggered in the first place. There's some subconscious beliefs there that also, a lot of it's in the body, but some of the beliefs and the thoughts can re-trigger our body. So we want to work with those a bit as well. Then here we've got, but it won't work when. What about when your child catches you off guard, or they hit their sibling, or they won't help around the house, or they won't leave for school in time? We're going to discuss an action plan, a calm action plan, you can call it, or a regulated action plan, with an exact roadmap of how you're going to deal with these situations. Now, this model might change a bit because I've had some different ideas for it, because I also want to put co-regulation in this. So how many people want to know how to get their kids to regulate if you've got very, strong-willed kids or hyper kids or whatever, right? Now, as I said, they're going to plug into your calm nervous system anyway, and you being more connected with them, you being more present with them. So being present with your kids is so hard for some of us. And I want you to know that as you go deeper into your body and you go into your body, you feel like you're not in this flight, like I have to do everything, I have to do. That's a flight energy anyway. You will start to become naturally more grounded into your body so that you can be more present with them, because that comes from your body state. So when you're more present with them, they will naturally plug into that. But you might want some fun ways to co-regulate with them as well, some fun breath work. And I have lots of those because I used to be a mindfulness coach for kids and a yoga teacher for kids. So I have lots of regulation strategies. So I'm wondering if some of you would like me to include that, maybe in alongside, or instead of like what to do when we can't leave the house. Like there's a way that I want to merge it, or either have one or the other. If you want heavy co-regulation strategies, I can do a whole module on that. And this is what I mean by I will respond to you as a group and what you really want. So there's always some flexibility to make sure that I'm meeting your needs, because in the course itself, you'll show me actually this group really needs this or that. So this might change a little bit more into co-regulation, which is strategies to get your child to feel calmer as well. And just, good emotional health, even if they're not particularly not calm, it's just good emotional health in the house. So you'll know what to do as well when you have co-regulation, and when we've discussed what you do when this happens or that happens. You'll know what to do in most situations with unshakable confidence. All right, that's what I want to give you as much as I possibly can. Now, it's not all me that gives that to you. You've got to do the work as well. All right, I'm the facilitator, but you do the work for this. So it's got to be those of you that are committed for this. I don't just want anyone on this course. I want the people who know that I want this. And if you're not sure, that's okay not to be sure as well. Just send me any questions that you have in my inbox and we can talk through it. There's a few more people hopping on, so just do share this out on your profile pages if you're watching. So I want to get this out to as many people as possible. Module 6, we've already talked about that. We talked about unmet needs being the source of why we trigger. Well, that's going to deal with that in module 6. Okay, so we've got 3 modules on this side of August. Then we have a load of support on Voxer, and then you get 3 more modules. So it's almost like this course was just going to be 6 weeks long, but it's almost like, you know, you get a 15-week course. I don't know, that's not right. My numbers have always been changed, like awful. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, about 11 or a 12-week course, or 10 to 12-week course, because I can be flexible for the price of 6 weeks, right? Which is huge. Okay, so you might be like, it sounds great, Shanae, but what's the price? Okay, so I'm going to be giving you that now. So obviously self-regulation at your fingertips is the difference between feeling reactive, burnt out, frustrated, anxious within, and feeling like for once you put yourself first. You put your own self-care first. And that gives a gift. A gift like that is not just a gift to yourself, but a gift to your children too, as they will begin to absorb your calm. Your calm becomes theirs. Your joy becomes theirs, because that is basically the biology of the nervous system, by the way. We share our nervous system states. That's science proves that. So you're going to also rewrite their future relationship patterns with this investment. I think that's just what got me the most about doing this work, is I know that a lot of my patterns, my unhealthy patterns with my husband, came from my root relationships in my family. And I know that, and my own dysregulated state. So I knew that by working with myself in this way, that I could completely, like, well, you know, not completely, because life happens as well, but I could have a better chance at rewriting my child's relationship patterns so they didn't have to have the struggles I've had in relationships. And for me, that was everything. Right, that was everything. But anyway, I get too passionate. I'm going to get to the price, don't worry. So here it is. It was going to be 1,200 this course, which is kind of an average price, but I wanted to make it super accessible for you guys. So today you can enroll for 555, pay in full, or you can take a payment plan where you can start for as little as £28 a week. Yes, £28 a week. If you do not have the funds to pay in like 1, 2, 3 installments, monthly installments, then we do have payment plans. If you see that when you click here, you're going to, if you want to join, okay, okay, there's less joining buttons because I've messed around with this today. So if you want to join here, you will then be taken to a screen that looks like this. Where's the screen? There it is. I thought I messed it up for a second. Tech. Where's the screen? You could feel I didn't quite go into sympathetic there, but I could feel a little bit of like, woo. Anyway, and you have decided to say yes to yourself and self-regulation. You can pay in full for 555. Or if you need an installment plan, you can do 3 monthly installments of 185. That's just £46 a week. You can pay in 5 monthly statements of installments of 111, which is just £28 a week. If you actually need it to be weekly, just message me. I can make it weekly. So if you do not see a payment plan here that works for you, okay, and I believe not everybody does this, but if you do not see a payment plan there that works for you, I will make one that works for you, especially if you've been in my world a while. But even if you haven't, I will make one that works for you. And also it will be, if you're in my VIP, you can even I can give you a longer payment plan, because my payment plans are kind of limited to 6, 7 months, and sometimes I extend to 8 or 9, but it's really for those people that are in the VIP that I go that bit longer. However, if you are a single parent and I have one spot for a single parent, that if you need it spread over 12 months, I will spread it over 12 months for you, interest free. Okay, because I know my mum struggled. She was a single parent. So we need to get this support accessible, and that's why I'm doing this. Also, as if that wasn't enough, guys, I know I've bombarded you with all this great information. I hope you're not asleep yet, and we will be doing the calming strategies in a moment. We've got a 48-hour flash return bonus. Now, the first time this course was launched, it was launched with 3 other bonuses. They're now gone. So you don't want to miss this one. This is returned for just 48 hours only. So if you sign up by the 6th of July or tonight, you will get Voxer support, which is that voice app, not just in August, you'll get it throughout the course. So you'll get it throughout, okay? and you will have extra support of me coaching you live when you most need it throughout the course. But you will not be opted into this if you just like for the extra voice support if you don't opt in the next 48 hours. So that is to help you to make a decision, not to apply pressure to you. Please know that. So the questions here that people tend to ask, what is the time commitment? It tells you what if you can't make any live teaching or any live coaching. It's fine. Everything has replays, lifetime access. How do the payment plans work? Is the program for me? And you'll see a little YouTube link there that you can click on, and it will take you to this wonderful lady who's taken one of my courses. And then she starts to So anyway, she goes on to talk more about what she learned, which is really useful anyway, if you guys want to learn from it. So definitely check that out on the page. So she goes on to talk about that and what it's really like to take a course with me, just in case you're a little bit on the fence. I could post that link in the thing for you as well. So there's all the questions. The link for it is in the group. Oh, you couldn't hear her? Oh, okay. No worries. Can you hear me, Elizabeth? Okay. Can you hear me, Liz? Just let me know. I've just put you can watch lasted, but what I meant was you can watch later on the thing. So Liz, just let me know if you can hear me. Yes, okay, that's all right. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. I'm just having a right good laugh with myself here. So I do laugh at myself a lot, especially when it comes to tech. So what did you think of my baby? Give me some love hearts if you love it. If it sounds exciting. And if you have any questions at all, just drop me a message. I'm here for you. I'm a real person on the other end, and I want to support you to get the support that you need. So we can do it, do it, do it. Okay, now I'm going to show you some calm practices, the bit that we have all been waiting for, right? If you want to learn some of my calm practices, please give me some love in the comments. Please give me some love hearts. Drop some emojis in, guys, if you want to learn some of these practices now, and share this out on your pages, because we're going to do some of this now. Okay, you have patiently awaited. Okay, let me see the love hearts, guys. Let's see some love hearts. Woo! We've got some hands up emojis. So if you know me, you know I love the hands up emoji. Okay, it's one of my, I don't know if it's just because I grew up with Bhangra that I love the hands up emoji like this, but I do love it. I just have to do a little bit of hands upping there. So drop me some hands up emojis. You know the ones. Liz has included it if anybody is confused about what that is. I can just shove a few in here as well. Okay, so guys, let's do it, do it, do it, do it, do it now. Oh gosh, I should sing that song. That's a really rude song, isn't it? Right, so guys, excuse me while I get comfortable on my thing. Right, we're going to do the practices now. I'm too excited. I've got very excited energy. So here we go. We're going to turn our head from side to side, okay, in a moment. I'm just getting comfortable on my seat, adjusting my seat. So I want us to turn our heads side to side in a moment, okay? So I'm going to show you. Normally we do this lying down, but for now I just want you to try this looking at the screen and see what kind of result you get, and you can always do it lying down after, okay? So you're going to, I just want you to turn your head to one side like this, and just notice how far you can glance over your shoulder. Don't force it. And then turn your head to the other side and notice how far you can see over that shoulder. So this is a somatic practice for you to give you your baseline of where you're at with your regulation. So just notice how far your neck goes. And if it's not going, I'm not going to tell you what it means just yet, but this gives you your baseline, okay? So next, you're going to interlace your hands like this and cradle your neck into your interlaced arms. Just let that head fall into the back of the arms. Okay. And you're going to keep the head looking forward, the head straight. And in a moment, we're going to let the eyes go over to the right. So you're just moving your eyeballs over to the right for 30 seconds. Okay. And then you're going to take the eyes back to the center and do 30 seconds on the other side. So you should all be doing this with me now. Okay, ready? And we're going to look over to the right. And just stay there for 30 seconds. Rest into your arms, relax the shoulders. The nose is facing forward and it's just the eyes that are moved over to the right. Letting go of any doing this in the right way. If the arms get tired, sometimes this works just as well with the arms down. But if you can keep them there, that's great. Then bringing the eyes back to the center for a moment. Exhale into the body. Inhale. And then looking over to the left. Noticing your breath. Just looking over to the left now. For 30 seconds, we're going to be here. These eye movements, they're all working with your brain stem, where our reaction starts. Let the mind be still. Being entirely with this practice. I'm going to rest my arms down because I'm feeling tired. I'm going to listen to my body. And then bringing the eyes back to the center when you feel it's been about 30 seconds. You might feel a release, a want to yawn or something. That's usually a sign that but not necessarily with this one, or you feel that. But if you do, that's very normal. It's a sign that your parasympathetic nervous system is activating, the calming part. And then what I want you to do is now turn to the left now and just see if you can glance any further over than you originally did when you started. So is there any more freedom of movement there? And just let me know in the comments if yes, there was, or no, there wasn't. And if there wasn't, I don't want you to worry, because it's recommended that the first few times that you do this one, that you do it on the floor or laying down. Okay, I didn't have the setup for that today, and I wanted you to see my eyes. And then you can go to doing it standing up more. But if you did notice more movement, just let me know in the comments. Just put a yes, more movement if you did. If you didn't, just put we'll try the floor or something, or going to try the floor. So you're just turning over. Just notice, can you look a little bit more over now? What that's done is that's reset the baseline of your nervous system. So if you were stuck in any one stage, which we all get stuck in them throughout the day, life events, danger cues come up that our nervous system recognizes as danger, and we can get stuck. So this releases it. So let's just see in the comments if any of you notice you could look a little further over. Okay, I'm just waiting for your responses, and then I'm going to go on to the next one while you type to me. Okay, share in the comments what you find. Remember, you can do this laying down as well. Yes, more movement, Felicia says. Whoop, whoop. Give Felicia a whoop, whoop, because she just did it. And that's the first time you've done it, Felicia, and you wasn't even laying down, which I do recommend that you lay down for the first few times of this. These are proven techniques that have come from the likes of Peter Levine, and this one, I can't remember the guy's name, but I can tell you. Right, so now we're going, which one should we do next? I've got so many. How many of you feel like, what common feelings do you have when you're triggered in your parenting or your relationships? Put them below, because then I'll know which one to do next. I've got so many of this. In the Regulate course, you're going to get over 30 practices. okay, over 30 practices. So one for every day of the month. So shaking to disarm the stress response. Maybe we'll do that one next, okay? So flight energy makes us want to run. Just going to see where this camera is. See if you can see me now that I'm standing. I'm just seeing if you guys can see me okay. I'm just waiting for my phone to update and show me where my position is. Yep, I think I'm good. Okay, so for this one, okay, now I told you it's going to be fun, right? You've got to be willing to get a bit silly if you're going to work with me. So basically, we're going to shake this time, okay? So you're just going to stand. If you can't stand for any reason, you can do this one just shaking the top of the body, sitting down. So we're just going to shake. So imagine, first of all, before you start, just imagine you just feel a bit stressed, okay? Like something just happened with your kid, drop into your body. No, some of us can't drop in this quick. We need to train ourselves to feel it. So we're going to try anyway. Just drop the attention below the chin. Feel into your kid just did something that really annoyed you. Where does it first clench up? Okay, if you took my 5-day course, you would have, my free one last week, you would have got practice of this already. So just sense where that is. And then now shake, okay? And this is for you, those of you, my husband's one that likes going to flight energy. So I did this with him today because I could feel him getting stressed with the kids, and I mirrored him. So mirroring, because there's mirror neurons in the brain. So where I'm standing in front of you doing this, your brain will be like, oh, this person's mirroring me, and that brings co-regulation. That brings us calm. Okay. So I do them with my husband. I mirror them. I'm not sure, but I'll do it another time laying down, says Liz. Okay, don't overthink it, Liz. If they're thinking brains coming in, which I know, I think you are a thinker, then just allow yourself to suspend that. So, okay, we're going to shake, shake, shake. And then I don't know if you're going to be able to see me here. You just shake. I'm going to stop talking for a bit. You can just feel into the shake. Breathe deep. So it's made myself laugh the way I'm shaking. Okay, shh. Shake, shake, shake. Breathing in, breathe out, and then you're literally just going to flop over. So you're going to go up like this, okay, and then you're going to flop over like this, bending over, allowing your body to be floppy, okay? So you can't see me fully, so I'm just going to show you like this. So you're just hanging down to the floor like this, okay? You're cradling your arms like this, and you're hanging all the way down. So just allow your body to drop and hang all the way down to the floor. And you might like to just sway there for a moment. So just swaying side to side. Staying there for a few moments. Breathing in and breathing out. And then very gently coming up. And as you come up, just allow your fingers to come up onto your body like so. So you're feeling your fingers on you, just coming up like this. Okay. So now just take a moment to put your hand on your chest and one on the belly. And just notice how your body feels after that. How does the mind feel? Is the mind busy or is it quiet? Just letting that energy settle from all of the shaking. And just notice if you can feel the sensations in your arms of where you were just shaking. Just allow all of your attention to be with those sensations in your arms where you've just shaked it all out. If you're feeling a bit fuzzy, you may like to squeeze the arms like this now. This sends signals of safety to your nervous system. Okay. And then just breath with a hold, butterfly hold, crosses over the brain, bilateral stimulation for the brain, helps equalize things, and the triggered responses. Just rest here for a moment. And when you feel ready, just coming back to seated, wherever you were sitting or lying down. And just let me know how that felt, the shaking one. Who would like to do one more? I've got so many, but we've got all of the rest of them in regulate. Who would like to do one more? Or is that quite enough for tonight? Just notice how what your body needs and wants, not what your mind wants, what the body is desiring. Just let me know in the comments how you found that one, the shaking one. Okay, if you've just hopped on, you can go back and watch this to the start of this and experience more of these somatic practices and calming practices. And I'm doing some rubbing on my arms now, which is another response. Elizabeth loved that one. Ooh, love it, Elizabeth. So tell me, who here is a faker? Okay. I don't mean that in a bad way, but what I mean is who here goes into a fawn response in their nervous system? So fawning is when we pretend to be kind, or we appease others, or go into people pleasing, or we kind of lose our confidence. And I've noticed, like, when people fawn, their shoulders come forward like this. And it's so sad, because I was in a nervous system workshop once, as I'm always updating my knowledge, and I heard that those people that sit hunched forward like this have habitualized a response, an emotion of shame in their body. And I actually know someone very well in my life that sat like that for a lot of their life, and it just made me feel so much empathy for them, that they had all this shame blocked in their body. But it can be shame, but it can also be when we're acting. Or can I act small? Or can I people please? Or can I act like this or that just to survive and be loved and accepted here? If I'm just a little bit more of this or a little bit more of that, then I might be loved here and I might feel safe. So a lot of us do these fawning behaviors. How many of us go into fawn responses, like fake responses that are not really you? If you're aware of that, you may not, but sometimes we're just putting it on with our kids as well. Okay, and then we wonder why it didn't land, because we were pretending to be calm. So what I want us to do for this one, who would like to do the fawn one? Give me a yes if you do. Give me some love hearts, because we've run a little bit over, but I'm loving this. I'm loving giving you guys this. And if you just hopped on, make sure you check out the Regulate course as well that I just talked about. The link is in the comments. I'm going to drop it again in a minute. How many of you are going to join by the end of this live? In fact, I feel like doing something crazy. For anyone who joins by the end of this live, I will give you a 45-minute one-to-one. Okay, so if you join Regulate, even on a payment plan, by the end of this live, I've just decided, I don't know where that came from. I'm just going to want you guys to know that I'm going to give you guys, so I'm dropping the link now, free one-to-one with me. Free, it's not free, it's worth a lot of money. So you will know that my one-to-ones are usually the most kind of bigger investment to work with me, but I will put it as part of this program just for people who join by the end of this live. I don't even know where that came from. I was just guided to, like, I just felt a excitement in my heart to offer you that. So yay! I didn't know I was going to do that tonight. So definitely take advantage before I change my mind. No, I won't change my mind. So who is here? Who would like to do the fawn one? I don't see much enthusiasm, guys. Yeah, I'm one of those that likes enthusiasm. Give me some love hearts. All right, I'm going to do it for you anyway, right? Even though you did give me a lot of love. Just joking. Right, here we go. So the fawn response. The fawn one is like when we feel like we're faking responses. But this is how it goes. We're going to, Elizabeth goes, sure. So relaxed, Liz. Love it. Right, so you're going to bring your hands behind your head again like this, okay, if that feels comfortable for you. And if your arms just feel a bit achy, you can give them a shake first, and then just rest back into your head, okay? And you're going to open the mouth and breathe like this. So with a wide open mouth. So I'm sorry if you can see the inside of my mouth, but this is part of how we biologically get that regulation online. So open the mouth and breathe. Your hands are behind your head. And on the inhale now, so you're going to breathe in. On that inhale, I want you to round the spine, like so. So you're bending forward, rounding the spine on the inhale. Let the head be heavy. Notice if your jaw is clenching, let go of the jaw. And then on the exhale, on your next exhale, I want you to bring your face up and I want you to make an audible sigh. So you're inhaling on the round spine like this, and then you're exhaling and making an audible sigh. Okay, inhaling around the spine, exhaling, make an audible sigh. Then open your arms wide and gaze forward. Like so. Gazing forward gives a signal to the brain that it's safe to look outwards with confidence. Move the arms away. Close your eyes. Notice how you feel in your body now. Do you feel panicky, overwhelmed, or is there some relaxation coming online? Just notice. There's no right answer. It's okay to be honest. And respect wherever you are at today, knowing that that is exactly where you're meant to be on your nervous system ladder. And I'd love to hear back from you in the comments how you found those practices. If it felt a bit weird or new or like something you haven't done before, or if that is something you have done before, or not even that, just how did it feel? Was it relaxing? Interesting? How has it left you feeling? Okay, guys, so it's been an absolute pleasure to be with you tonight. Thank you for sharing this space with me for the last 2 days. If you didn't see day one, make sure you check it out. You will if you are signed up for receiving these emails. Excuse me. Whenever you hear the sound of your own voice, I'm like, why am I saying receiving with so much emphasis? My little judgment mind coming in there. But I just want to invite you, if you haven't signed up, to sign up to the emails, because after this, you're going to get an email that has all the information you need for Regulate, anything else that I choose to put out there, which you're gonna want. Does that even make sense? Okay, so I'm just going to drop the link now. If you just came across this page but you hadn't actually subscribed to this masterclass, that's how you subscribe for the emails, so you can get more information about my things and join my email list. And if you want to join Regulate, this is the link to join or just to check it out here. If you have any questions about Regulate, you can drop them here right now, or you can PM me personally and I will answer them for you. And you've just got a few days until it closes, the registration closes. So just 3 days until it closes. So make sure you jump in if you feel called. And I was also going to give you the link to my Good. My lovely loved one. My client Gori, she's going to laugh when she sees this, I know that. My loved one. No, I'm not that weird, don't worry. But I do shower you guys with a lot of love. Right, so this is Gori's experience of the course. Gori's from India. So she took the course, so it can be taken from anywhere in the world. Testimonial, I'll put. Okay, there's her experience of the course, because I know some of you couldn't hear her earlier. So definitely check that out. And I'll look forward to seeing who's going to join us next. We've got some amazing souls on the other side. And I hope that you will be one of the last few spots that I have, because I will be closing it down when I've reached my small group limit. So come and join us for Regulate if you enjoyed that and you want to learn more practices to increase that vagal tone, which is the main source of the part of us that we need to exercise to regulate more easily. Sending you so much love. Thank you for being here with me tonight. And I look forward to connecting with you guys all more soon. So much love. Bye for now.